What's going on, fellow A-Plusers? It's your boy Adam Perez. I'm back with a brand new video for you guys today because we got ourselves some great Star Wars content to certainly talk about here today. As today, officially, we got ourselves a brand new trailer for the upcoming Star Wars series Skeleton Crew. This series is set to go ahead and drop December 3rd over on Disney Plus for you guys, starring Jude Law. And boy, I got to tell you, man, I really cannot wait for this series. I am truly hyped to see what John Watts has certainly put together and given us here. I'm a big fan of John Watts' work, especially his recent stuff. If you're not familiar with John Watts, I highly recommend checking out the most recent Spider-Man trilogy. For him to kind of take those sensibilities and bring them over into Star Wars, give us sort of that Amblin sort of Spielberg vibe, if you will. I mean, it's written all over the trailers when you certainly watch it. So I'm really excited for him to bring his vision to the Star Wars universe. And to be quite frank with you, I feel the positivity growing. I feel the hype around this series, particularly growing, even on some place that could be a terrible cesspool like Twitter. There's been a lot of positivity for this upcoming series too, and today we got ourselves a fantastic new first look in a brand new official trailer. If you guys want more information on the series itself, StarWars.com actually did go ahead and sit down with John Watts along with the other writer for this series, and they give us a really in-depth sort of look at not only some of the characters but really how the casting process went along with putting this particular series together. So if you're looking for more details, go over to StarWars.com. I may even put a link in the description box below for you guys also. So let's go ahead and dive into this particular trailer, y'all, because I got to tell you, I'm so glad we got ourselves another look. I was really hoping for a longer trailer, and they certainly gave us one here. Couple of things that immediately stand out to me. I love the soundtrack in here. The soundtrack really works for me. I am hoping that that continues as the actual series itself definitely continues to progress. Some of the characters that really kind of stood out to me when I'm watching this. The first character in this trailer, I think we get seen as Fern, as she's on her speeder bike, cutting between two buses, if you will. She definitely has sort of that swag about her, that cavalier sort of risk taker kind of mentality. You know what I mean? Like she seems like she's a true maverick. I mean, even just some of the facial expressions that she winds up giving, like, what are you in here for? You know, like I really almost like the pilot jacket also that she's kind of rocking. So there is elements to Fern that I think I'm really gonna enjoy. And then really the other main character in here, Wim, played by Ravi Kabat Conyers. I'm kind of digging the vibe that he's presenting. I feel like the two trailers that I've seen him in, he's got his head in some sort of screen. He might be like some sort of a gamer, right? Head in the cloud sort of thing, but like this wide-eyed kid that seems rather adventurous, probably puts himself in situations he probably shouldn't necessarily be in. But I kind of dig that mentality. I mean, you get to see a little bit of the vibe between him along with what seems to be his father. His father probably a little bit more of a stern gentleman trying to keep Wim sort of focused on maybe what his life could be, sort of thing. And maybe Wim just has this childlike idea of just wanting to, I don't want to say necessarily doing his own thing, but clearly, like I said before, the wide-eyed adventurer sort of kid, right? That doesn't want to necessarily just be stuck in a classroom, head inside of a book. He definitely has other things that he wants to do for himself. We even get to see a little bit more of the Nick Frost robot in here, the droid that he's going to be playing in SM33. Vocal wise, I really do like the voice that Nick Frost has found for this character. I also just getting a quick glimpse of seeing it in live action. I don't think I noticed before like the little alien creature kind of sticking out one of its eyes. But SM33 definitely doesn't look like he can't take care of himself. I mean, we see him fighting in here, also clearly giving the kids some level of direction. Like, look, you know, you're in a new world now, right? You got pirates and mountains that have never been explored, sort of thing, that you're gonna find yourselves in. And so it really just adds to the scope of what this series is really going to be. But, you know, droids for me, always a foundational piece for Star Wars. So it's always fascinating to see who they wind up getting to do sort of like the voice work for them. And I usually think 9 times out of 10, they usually nail it, to be quite frank with you. So I'm really excited to kind of see what Nick Frost is going to bring to this. But visually, this series continues to look stunning. because of the fact that Disney has worked with John Watts before, it feels like they were so pleased with what he was able to do with the Spider-Man trilogy, continuing to make more and more and more money with each outing, that they're probably just like, look, John, whatever you need, I don't care how big the budget is, bro, you let us know and we'll give it to you, because this feels vastly different from anything that I've seen in Andor, from anything that I've seen in The Acolyte, from anything that I've seen in The Mandalorian. It feels very much like a big epic movie theatrical scale series that they're kind of bringing just to television. I'm truly stunned by just some of the visuals, the worlds, the creatures that we find ourselves in. And so to me, it's just visually stunning in here. There are two things in this trailer also that really jump out to me that I'm fascinated to learn about. One being, I do find it fascinating that as they're lost, and there's a scene when Wim is trying to get some food, and the guy is like, well, you got to pay for it. And he pulls out what seems to be in reference in the trailer as Old Republic credits. The people here seem to be kind of confused as to how did you even get your hand on Old Republic credits, in the sense of, since we've had the Empire, clearly they have been utilizing or have changed the how money is kind of made, or the currency type, if you will. And so, considering the fact that this is taking place in the New Republic era, very shortly after Return of the Jedi, we do find ourselves in a very different world than what it was in the Old Republic. So, is this planet on the outer rim somewhere that is unaware possibly of the planet that he came from, in the sense of like Old Republic credits just aren't used anymore, so why are you still kind of using them, right? Like, I am curious if it's a planet that this planet is just not even aware of, or look, I mean, it could certainly be that, or the idea of like letting us know a little bit more about the planet. Like, if he's still using Old Republic credits, what is the situation of that planet like? Is his planet somewhere in the outer rim? Is his planet sort of like an experimental sort of society? Did like some people leave shortly after the downfall of the Old Republic and like create their, I don't want to say their own planet, but like their own little society that people aren't necessarily aware of, right? Like, have they been able to stay off the radar of the Empire for as long as they have? Like, I really am curious, right? Because when you see the trailers and you see like the suburban life, it almost feels kind of untouched from the Empire. So maybe this is like one of the last bastions of hope for humanity during the time that the empire was kind of taken over. Or maybe this is some sort of imperial, utopia where they can kind of live their old lives of, being in the old republic. I don't know, but it does fascinate me, the idea of currency, him having old republic, because to me that would mean his planet is still using old republic credits. But what does that mean to the overall galaxy, especially the other planet not being aware of old republic currency even being utilized? So I do think that this puts into question the planet that Wim and these kids are certainly from, and what truly is kind of going on over there. So it does add a little bit of a more mystery to me. And then lastly, I love the shot in here towards the end when they seem to be getting into some sort of like catacomb or some sort of vault that they discover with a big headpiece and gold and whatever the case may be. It's interesting to me because I think it was earlier this week, it was maybe Entertainment Weekly or somebody else had a new article about Skeleton Crew, and they revealed a brand new photo of the Jude Law character Jod looking at what seemed to be Sith language, or like Sith encryption, just like symbols and whatever the case may be from like an old Sith language that isn't utilized anymore. So it does make me wonder if they are either on this journey, or they happen to stumble upon what to me, when I put those two, the picture and this vault together, it does make me wonder if this is like a Sith vault, if they're gonna find Sith artifacts, if this is old Sith gold. I tried to stop the image to kind of look at some of the glyphs and the what some of the encryptions might be around the vault. So I do wonder if it is in fact sort of Sith related, if they've kind of stumbled upon sort of a Sith vault in some sense or another to find artifacts and gold that they might have been smuggling or keeping secret for something else in the future. I don't know. That is simply just speculation on my part. But the fact I'm trying to put these pieces together based off of what the trailers and some of the images are providing for me, it really does add to a level of mystery and wonder and very Goonie vibes, if you will. Again, really harkening back to that Amblin style. And John Watts clearly seems to know how to certainly tap into it. There is one really piece I'll leave you guys on that I do want you guys to go ahead and read the article if you haven't. Again, I'll put it in the description box below. But he does talk about the casting process and not so much the idea of like, can these kids act, which I clearly believe that they can. But one of the things that he says he was looking for is for the actors to be able to embody sort of the spirit and the energy of these kids that he's kind of that he's of the characters that he's creating, and based off of just some of the personality quirks, how they've managed to perform and how these characters are showcasing themselves in the trailer. I definitely do think that John Watts just absolutely nailed it in here. Granted, I know he's not the casting director, but I am expecting big things from these kid actors. Working alongside somebody like Jude Law has probably only been able to help them and allow them to kind of step up their game as well. So I'm looking forward to this. We will be reviewing Star Wars Skeleton Crew, very similar to how we did Star Wars The Acolyte. It will be myself. It will be Stuart. I do believe Will Polk from Scene and Nerd will be joining us as well. We'll see if we can get Crystal Kyber back. It is going to be during the holiday season beginning December 3rd. So we'll see what everybody's schedule is like. But I got to tell you, man, 2 trailers in, not wait. Not wait. I really trust the people putting this together. But look, guys, at the end of the day, these are simply my A+ opinions. I want to know yours. What did you guys think about the brand new official trailer for Star Wars Skeleton Crew? If there's anything that I missed, anything in particular that jumped out at you at the trailer, let me know your thoughts in the comment section box below. But until then, do me a big favor, as always, guys. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A+. May the Force be with you. Bye.